Today's guest is a children's author, film producer, charity spokeswoman, and now she's adding romance novelist to that list with her latest book, Her Heart for a Compass. I've got a copy here with a beautiful cover. But even better than that, I'll show you Tatu. Here we go. Been yelled in my ear. There you go, Tatu. There is the book cover for you. Today, the Duchess of York becomes an honorary loose woman. Sarah Ferguson, welcome to the show. I love the fact you've got your mug there for us.
Yes, thank you so much. And I think you're doing an amazingly enthusiastic, fabulous job today talking about all those subjects which women need to talk about. Sleepless nights and menopause and all those subjects. And being a grandmother, 61, and a debut novelist, you know, here I am talking about, you know, just being true and authentic and speaking your voice. So thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's been an utter pleasure. And just so the viewers know, there's a little bit of a delay with Sarah today because you are in the beautiful Windsor Park. It's chucking it down with rain where we are, but it looks beautiful where you are.
Well, it is very, very beautiful, and I know I'm extremely lucky, but it was chucking it down with rain, so it obviously went from Windsor to you. So sorry.
Thank you so much for the gift, Sarah. Very much appreciated. Right, let's get talking about this book, 'cause it's a romance novel, of course, and I think people always underestimate just how popular romance novels are. People love a bit of escapism with books like yours.
Well, thank you very much indeed. In fact, Mills and Boon has been around for 100 years, and HarperCollins and William Morrow in America. It's all about, we wrote it during the pandemic, and so it was escapism for me to go to my heroine, Lady Margaret, who happens to be very red-headed and resilient and strong. But, of course, she gave me the ability of going into 1870 and on this incredible journey of following what you believe is your own voice and your own strength, which is why I wanted to come on Loose Women today.
Sarah, lovely to see you. I've been very lucky to spend many an evening at a charity event, sat with you chatting, and I must say, all of the qualities that you hold, your strength and your honesty, and also exposing some of your vulnerabilities is such an appealing quality that I see that reflected in the characters in your book. And it's so charming, and you really want to get to know these women and appreciate the relationships that mothers and daughters and just women like us, that we have those close friendships. It's really thrilling.
But you see, I think you lead by example. You were talking, all of you, earlier on about sleepless nights and all the things you were talking about. But you know, Penny, you do lead by example. You're on the beat now. You're married to an extraordinary Rod, and yet whenever I see you, you and I almost could be chatting away in the ladies' loo, couldn't we? We get on so well, and you make me feel so supported. And I can't thank you enough, because the British Heart Foundation, with you and I, we're getting defibrillators everywhere, won't we, Penny? We'll do it.
So, Sarah, let me ask you about your writing process, because you've got a co-author, Marguerite Kay, who's written quite a lot of romantic novels. Now, I'm picturing you sort of Barbara Cartland style, lying on a chaise lounge, dictating. What was your actual writing process?
Oh, I love that. Yes, well, if only. No, what we found, because we didn't really know each other, but during the pandemic, we called each other 2 hours a day, we Zoomed, and it was very much, I used to say to her, now, let's take our heroine, Lady Margaret, to the slums of East London because of that book in 1870 called The Boy of Jago by Morrison Osborne, I think. And you go along, or Arthur Osborne, anyway, you go along, and it was so bad because there was no sewage works, and she'd get out of her carriage, and I would really talk to her about what it was like, and then she and I would work out each line. So it really is about 24 meets Pride and Prejudice. That's the book, really. So it's pacey. Yes, there's a lot of romance in it, but we leave a lot for the reader to make out with their own imagination. But if I just might say, Marguerite and I have become firm friends, and we're now, with Mills and Boon, we're assigned on our next book now, already.
Congratulations.
And hopefully you're going to get this made into a film, and you already have got your eye on Aidan Turner as your lead.
Well, I mean, I think Colin Firth is just phenomenal in Darcy, isn't he? I mean, you've got to say, coming out of the lake. Aidan Turner, I love James Norton, but Aidan Turner at the moment takes the top spot for me, really. It has to be said. I thought he was brilliant in Leonardo as well as Poldark.
It must be wonderful having your pick of young men to have as a lead in the book. Look, there are so many themes that you cover in this, and do you feel almost like this could have been I know that it's a fictional story, but do you feel as there is some themes that have lined up with your own life? So things like Lady Margaret getting a letter from the Queen about how to deal with press attention, for example. Do you think there were elements where you were perhaps able to put across your view without putting across your view?
So funny. There are many, many, many parallels with my own life story, which is one of the luckiest life stories there is. There's no question. And I'm very grateful every day. And I know one of your points earlier on was, do you wake up and say, I love you? Well, I wake up and I say, I'm so lucky. And that's what I say, I'm lucky, and I turn to joy. And I put doubt in the back seat and I drive the car. That's what I do, by the way. But going back to your question, there are so many parallels with my life in the book because of the experiences and the experimenting with experiences that I've done. So, you know, there is that feeling of empathy towards Lady Margaret, perhaps the same deal of empathy I have to have for myself. Forgiveness.
Absolutely. Forgiveness is a great one, Sarah. And I was just wondering, because one of the other parallels we have is the dealing with the press. And I know, you know, there's that sort of double-edged sword. We work with the press, but sometimes it can be very cruel. And I've often struggled with how to address that with my children and make them understand it. How have you approached that with your daughters?
Oh, well, I couldn't agree more. It is such a big subject. And I have to tell you that Claire Balding and Alex Scott last night, when they finished off the closing ceremony of the Olympics, were spot on when they said, we aim to be higher, faster, stronger. Together we will win. Hate won't win. I think cyberbullying, the abhorrence of cyberbullying, anonymous trolling, all of these different things, we have to address it. And I know my girls are 31 and Beatrice was 33 yesterday, and you've got younger children. You know, we've got to help these teenagers understand to have a clear voice and be themselves and not worry about what people think. But I know I still worry at 61. So, you know, I think it's a work in progress, but we've got to spread awareness like Loose Women are doing about stop judging anybody else. It's not necessary. Not necessary.
Sometimes, I mean, the hardest thing can be to not judge ourselves, isn't it? Our own stinking thinking, our own lack of confidence. And you've certainly taken some knocks over the years and stood back up. I know that we've spoken to you about our Body Stories campaign. Where are you now with that and body confidence and...
Oh, well, it's a work in progress, like any good painting. You keep dabbing a few more bits of paint on. The thing is that I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm never going to look like you, Penny, and be a supermodel, and that I'm me with a beautiful bit of red hair, and I'm coming to terms with it now. It's long enough. It's been 35 years in public life. But I think it is very hard, and I do have to say that I do address the eating disorder issue with Lady Margaret in the book, because it's one of my big subjects. Of course, Diana and I used to talk about it a lot, about what it is to be on the front pages and people judging the size, what size you are. And I speak openly to you today from here, saying it's okay. Anyone watching, just be who you are and keep fighting on and don't give up. That's what I would say. And I'm still a work in progress too.
We all are, Sarah. I have my struggles too, trust me. Next time we meet, I'll show you my roles that I've been gaining with the menopause and everything, you know. But we have to learn to love ourselves and be kind to everyone. Your message is spot on.
But can I just jump in about I think Sophie Wessex is doing a brilliant job speaking about the menopause. I think that I was lucky enough to keep on asking for help. And I think the key on everything you're saying is never be too proud not to ask for help. Put your hand out and say, you know, please help me, please advise me. I don't know what to do. And that is why I went to Mills and Boon. I said, Marguerite, I have no idea how to write a novel. I have no idea where to start. Please help me.
Brilliant.
And now, I just want to ask you one last question, because I know you've got to go, but, you know, talking of romance, you've got this book out with this great romantic publisher, and I was reading the other day a story that you were going up to Balmoral for summer, obviously with Andrew, maybe with your daughters, and all the public comments were very much that, you know, you're the best of friends, you go on holiday together, you share the same house, you clearly, you know, really stick up for each other, and that you're the happiest divorced couple that they've ever seen. Any chance of a little rekindling of romance there?
Oh, my goodness me. You're all fairy tale. You've all got your wands out. Do you know what I love is that that Andrew and I remain steadfast as we, in the past, of course, co-parenting, but now we're co-grandparenting, and he is such a good grandfather. I get a bit of FOMO, if you know what that means, because he's so good with August. And he's a really good, thoroughly good man, and it's a joy to be able to spend time as a family. And that's what I think. I love that when we join together as a family. It's a really good thing. And for anyone out there, communicate, compromise, compassion. That's our secret.
Nicely swerved on the romance.
Oh, do you know what, Sarah? It's been an utter pleasure.
I swerved.
Oh, you did swear. It's been an utter pleasure talking to you this afternoon. And I don't know, at some points, I think I felt quite emotional, especially with all the body confidence stuff. So we really, really appreciate your honesty. And for anyone that's wondering, the book is out now, so be sure to grab your copy of Hearts of Compass. But, Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, thank you all. Bless you. Thanks for the mug.
It's our pleasure.